Good morning from the farm. All the flowers here looking beautiful. This is flower patch 2 and this is up in full production. I guess we're getting lots of blooms off of there. So it's been down to about 9 degrees here a few days ago, but it's 14 at the moment, so that's not too bad. So we do get cooler weather in Thailand. So these are all looking beautiful. Over on the other side, Jibjoy's farm, the niece's farm, we have more seedlings, as you would know. And we'll just take a wander. I've just finished the watering over this one. So the top half you can see quite green. They're medium-sized seedlings. They're coming up. There'll be another month maybe before they start to look like they're going to give us flowers. And then in the foreground we have a lot of other seedlings. We do have some of the vegetable seedlings that we put in, not a great deal, but well, Thalinee took care of that. She put in another 600 smaller seedlings just in the foreground, so that's all taken care of. And yeah, this one's back over here looking beautiful. We've had a good return on the vegetables, which were bought as seedlings, not seeds, that were put in up the top there. They've been great. Had some we've had a quantity that Thalinee has sold in the market while she's selling flowers, and if we've got lemons on the tree, she'll take those too. So it's not just flowers. Whatever produce we can pull off the farm will end up going to the market. Sure, we'll have our quantity that we want. In the foreground here we've got Ginjo. He's a nephew. He's the brother of Jibjoy in the next farm. And there you can see Thalinee. She's hiding. She's in the middle of the veggies. So we've got chilies here. We've got eggplants. Eggplants with purple flowers give the long eggplant, and you can see some of those. I've shown you pictures of them up. They've been picked, but they're hard to see. They hide and you don't know they're there. And there they are under there. So there's one there, quite small at the moment. Turn so you can see it. But there are plenty of those. There's a variety here also that have a white flower, and they're the small round eggplants, the Thai plant. But we've got cabbages going here, and these ones, I say they're tomato plants. I'm pretty sure they are, but we're yet to see something come up on those. And bok choy. There we go, more of the long eggplants. Thalinee's busy playing with here. She's been out with the Cultivator again, just a little while ago. Here we go, we've got some bok choy here. It's been picked. She decided we're going to have those, so that's great. More eggplants. Yeah, she's been out with the cultivator and she's gone along some of the walkways and thrown a bit more soil into the base of all the plants. She does that occasionally. But as you can see, there's a bit of soil on the plants, but that'll wash off. But there we can see the purple of the eggplants hiding in there. Here we've got one that's got quite a quite a few on it. So you can tell those ones by the colour of the flower. They have a purple flower, which is quite handy for somebody uneducated like me. But we've got lots of those. They seem to grow quite readily, they're quite happy. But here's the other variety. See, these ones have a white flower. That's a better focus for you guys. Yeah, these ones have a white flower, and these produce the small light green ones. Let me just go in here. They produce this one. That's quite tiny at the moment, but that's the other variety of eggplant that you'll see them in curries, and probably mainly in curries. So we've got those happening. Chilies are slow but steady. They're coming up. They'll gradually get stronger. Hopefully they'll form into bushes that will be maybe a little bit longer than just sort of annuals. A lot seem to be grown just shorter periods than that. But can I get that in focus for you? There is another one of the eggplants there. So that's obviously a little bit more mature. Not far off that size, you could even start picking them. But that's where we're at the moment. Sun's coming up over there. Thalinee's busy there. We had our morning coffee and then we were sort of straight out into it, get the watering done, get the main chores. Watering is the main chore. The other sort of maintenance you do as much of it as you can in the time that's available for it, but the watering keeps it all alive, and it'll be there for another day, and you get to the maintenance later, not so critical. Lemon trees looking good. They haven't had water for about a week, so we'll probably go in there and give them another flood. The ground seems to stay plenty moist for at least a week if you give it a good flooding, so we'll do that. But at the moment we've got water going down with the solar onto the flowers down here. I flooded about 4 runs yesterday. So that's a solar pump. That one is 750 watts, 750 watts. It doesn't pump out an enormous volume, but it's consistent. It just keeps pumping, the sun shines. And you can see it down there. It's busy pumping away. And it doesn't take it long to be able to flood one of these runs. So great investment if you're thinking of doing something similar. When you first look at them and the output, you think, oh, it's never going to be enough. Never. But it's not like turning on a tap or an electric pump where you're probably allotting a particular sort of amount of time, an hour or whatever, to take care of it. With this, it's just pumping consistently. You walk away, you set it up so you've got runs or something like this, and you can walk away. Come back a few hours later, it's probably flooded, maybe more water than you wanted, but definitely a good investment. I think that little rig cost us about 35,000 baht to put that one in. Now that involves putting down the actual bore, buying the pump kit. Often they'll sell them as a kit. They'll sell you a pump, the pump controller, and the panels. Beyond that, you need probably a frame, which is only about 4 legs of steel and a few crossbars for the panels to live on, and that's it. And that's your investment. And how long does it take to get that investment back? Who knows, but it's well worthwhile. It'll go long into the future. Zero maintenance, and you're not paying power bills for it, and it's consistently pumping wherever you put it. So it's definitely a labour saver, it's a money saver, it's a time saver, and those commodities are probably more precious than anything else. So 35,000's not a big deal, but that's where we're at the moment. Yeah. if you're contemplating something like this is certainly a great labour saver, and it can be the critical factor in making it viable or not. The amount of time it would take to do this manually would be prohibitive, whereas this machine was bought second hand, 23,000 baht, so barely $1,000 Australian, and new, I think there may be 78,000. There might be more than that, but definitely well worthwhile investment. Yeah, second hand, supposedly refurbished in brackets, so you can be buying something a little bit unknown, but it's worked out well for us, even on the amount of work it's done so far, and the amount of maintenance I've had to do on it has been minimal. So even to this point, I would dare to say that it's paid for itself already. Had a couple of faults. On this side of it, you can see it's got an oil bath air cleaner just ahead of the starter full cord. It had a cracked plastic bottom oil reservoir, and I filled that up with some epoxy putty, but it was still leaking. There were cracks in the base, minute hairline, and the oil was leaking out. And recently I went through again with it, cleaned it up with spirit and petrol and whatever. It was time for maintenance. I just better move this to the lady. That great flower will kill me. Even one. Anyway, where was I? Plastic bottom cup on the oil bath is the reservoir for the oil. Tried to fix it with some epoxy putty because there was a piece missing out of it, so I fabricated that with a putty, ground it down so it all fitted again, and yeah, it was leaking through the hairline cracks. It was time for maintenance, give it a wash out and a clean out. Got a heap of soil and dust out of it, so it was well due to be done. Did that yesterday. But this time, while it was perfectly clean and washed, first in petrol and then in some spirit, I floated some super glue down along all those hairline cracks, thinking that maybe, just maybe, it might work, because some of the super glue you buy is pretty poor, and we hadn't had a lot of success with this particular bottle, so I thought, damn it, I'll give it a go. And it's worked. The bottom of the reservoir, I'd run my hand over it a moment ago, and that's perfectly dry, so the oil's staying inside there. So that was an easy fix. Inside the side cover on this side, we've got a couple of drive belts which run from the motor forward and up to that centre pivot point to drive the transmission, which disperses the power to the spinning cultivator and to the actual drive, to the wheels. Now there was a tensioner on there, and when you try and take it out of drive, it was still moving forward. It wouldn't disengage properly. The bearings had failed, and it was locking up, not coming off cleanly. So what did we have there? Two 6202 bearings, commonly found in things like alternators and jockey pulleys. Probably the most used bearing in the world. I think they cost me about $6 for the pair of them, so I picked those up and it's working perfectly. So maintenance, had a few oil changes, it's had a pair of belts put on it, cleaned out the oil bath with the air cleaner and got that working properly, and beyond that, you know, the bearings on the tensioner, that's minimal stuff. I've spent very little on it. So yeah, if you're going to do this, guys, look at buying one. You know, try and take a bit of care on who you buy it from, where you buy it from. You know, see if you know any people who have bought them and if they've got a reputable supplier. But yeah, definitely worth the money. Even if I'd spent more money on maintenance than I have, it would still be worth the money.